What's up, everyone? Welcome to this week's Talking Bull podcast. I'm Anthony. This is Nick. We're going to bring you your nerdy news rundown as well as our main topic for the week. This week's main topic, continuing with the video game theme we have going since E3 is in full swing and actually done now. We're going to be talking about first console experiences, first gaming experiences, first in gaming, basically. So we're going to start with our news rundown. We're going to start with Nintendo news that we didn't do because their press conference was super late, even though I didn't even think it was a press conference.
No, because they did that big thing a few days before, so I thought they saved it, did everything then, but I guess they saved one big reveal.
So basically, as we reported, they did their Pokemon stuff. So what they did was they did kind of like a Sony press conference, which was nice. They just did, here's a little bit of Reggie talking, here's some gameplay footage, and here's some trailers. So they showed
like
that
style.
It was great because they announced Metroid Prime 4 is in development. That's all they showed because they just wanted to get it out there. They announced that there is a Pokemon RPG main core title coming to the Switch, which is why they didn't announce it in the Direct. They were saving it, I guess, for a big reveal. Even though they didn't show anything, they were just like, hey, it's coming. So that kind of eased fanboys a bit with that. They announced that in Skyrim is coming to the Switch, even though we already knew it since they showed it in the reveal of the Switch back in January. They basically, what's new is you can play as Link. So you get all the costumes, and you get his Master Sword and the Master Shield, and you can go through Skyrim as Link, which I think is pretty cool.
Is it?
It is kind of cool, yeah. And it gives you a reason, if you haven't played Skyrim on the 8 consoles it's already on, plus the re-releases, to try it. I'm guessing this thing is going to be scaled down quite a bit because it is on the Switch.
Would it still be worth it?
Yeah, it still has all the DLC and stuff.
Would you say it's worth it if you've already played it on something else and experienced it the way it should have been? Or
Nintendo fanboys are going to eat this up because you can play as Link.
So even if they've never, let's say, what I'm saying is, let's say they didn't play Skyrim.
Yes.
Is this the way that they should first experience Skyrim?
Yeah, because it's basically just your created character, but you're dressed as Link with his sword.
But you just said it's going to be downgraded, like tech-wise. So
tech-wise, yeah. But if you've never played it on any other system, you wouldn't really notice it. But if you've played it on a high-end PC or a PS4 or Pro or the play, I'm just going to start naming all the fucking systems now because there's like 8 you have to get through while it's announcing stuff. But yeah, no, it's definitely worth it if you haven't played it. Even if you have, if you wanted to pick it up. I don't know price-wise what it's going to be. Maybe they'll knock it down a bit. Who knows? But, and then they announced some DLC for Breath of the Wild. Looked all right. I haven't played Zelda. Breath of the Wild looked awesome. So I hope to play that at some point. I need to Switch. I kind of want to Switch now. I know I said I was like, I'm going to wait to see what they have for it. I really kind of want to have one now. Because Zelda, you got Mario Kart now. You got Mario Odyssey, which looks awesome. They showed that off. That comes out in October.
So would you wait until next year to get it?
Yeah, I'll probably wait. I got a shit ton of backlog to finish on the PS4. And getting a Switch is not really in the budget right now. We bought all this crap.
This is true.
And it cost more than the Switch.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what's else they announced. I think that was their big stuff. It was more of like, we're doing stuff and shut up, basically, was kind of their thing. Because everyone was like, what are you going to show? What are you going to show? And then they also showed off a remake or remastered of Metroid 2 for the 3DS, Samus Returns. And this was kind of a way, because everyone's like, oh, you're neglecting Metroid. So they're like, okay, here's one for the Switch and here's one for the 3DS. So you're getting 2 Metroids this year, which is cool, because I will pick up Metroid for the 3DS, because I already own that. The 3DS, not Metroid. And remasters are all right, because they usually work them from the ground up. That's, oh, by the way, the Shadow of Colossus game that we saw the other day.
Yep.
We weren't sure what it was. It is a complete remastering with the original stuff from the ground up, with fixing the controls for modern PS4 gameplay. So That's pretty cool. He's sick and dying, so if you see him hacking through the podcast, he's not doing well this week.
Nope.
It's been a rough week. My knees gave out earlier, and you're sick. We're old people apparently. So then we have this pocket thing telling me to go play the Switch. So a few weeks ago, I don't know if you saw this. I'm not sure where you would see it. But Square Enix split ways with IO Interactive and Hitman because they weren't happy with how the season model played out for them. Because remember, they released Hitman as an episodic season.
Yeah.
So they were like, we don't like how this went, and we don't think it did well enough numbers for us, and basically dumped the studio that made Hitman. It has always made Hitman, also made Kane and Lynch Dead Men. And they were like, oh, what do we like? Who owns the property? Blah blah blah. Are they gonna do more? And IO was like, yeah, we're working on season 2 right now. We'll put it out later. And everyone's like, but doesn't Square Enix own the property? Well, they announced today via their own website that they are now an independent studio.
Who is?
IO. Fully IO Interactive, fully independent by themselves, and they have retained the rights to Hitman.
So they own it.
So they own it. They will publish it themselves and put it out on their own. So that's good for them. Because normally when they get rid of a studio, they either fold it in or they cancel everything, and then they keep the IP and keep it dormant.
Yeah.
Or they run it in the ground, i.e. Spyro and Crash.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Crash, Coco, his sister, who you could play, remember, in select levels in 3.
Yes.
You can now play her in every level in all 3 games in the Insane Trilogy remake.
They come out at the end of the month.
Yeah, and there's even a storyline reason, I guess, because time travel, based in Warp, there's like a thing they do in the game that allows her to warp back. Yeah, so they didn't just shoehorn her in; they actually gave a reason, which I thought that was pretty cool. So you can play as her throughout the entire story, which is kind of cool, I think. I think that is it for gaming stuff. Oh, actually, no, I lied. There was remember the press conference? There was that big thing of why isn't Sony cooperating with the cross play between consoles when the other ones are all playing nice. Mm-hmm. Well, basically Sony came out and was like, well, we have this infrastructure of our people and they've all agreed to a certain way of conduct and how we blah 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 and how they sit and interact with each other and play nice, and there's kids on here and we don't want them to be influenced by outside gaming cultures, basically. And I'm like,
so they own these minds and they want to control them.
Basically, it was just a load of crap of like, please think of the children, was their line. And so Xbox the next day was like, that is the biggest load of horse crap I have ever heard. What we think the same thing of our people too. Like, it's the same fucking, like, Nintendo is on board. They are notorious for like, we don't want online. It's dangerous. We don't know what that is.
Yeah.
They're living in the 60s still with their online infrastructure, as we reported with their fucking app to use their online chat.
Yeah, you have to go sign an app, and they don't have a store, like a proper store.
No, they're fucked over there when it comes to online. They're getting better, though. I'll give them that. But, so yeah, and then they're like, oh, there's open lines of dialogue. And it's just like, play nice. Who cares if you want to play Minecraft or Rocket League across consoles and PC? So you're telling me Sony...
So like this let me break it down.
Okay, let me break it down.
Let's break it down.
Okay.
So I have a PS4.
Yep.
And I want to play Minecraft.
Yep.
You have an Xbox.
Yep.
You want to play Minecraft.
Yes.
In theory, we can't play together. But if I had a Nintendo and you have an Xbox,
yep,
we could play together online.
Yep.
The same game without having the same system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Sony says because of children, they don't want to do that?
Yeah.
Because
it's dangerous.
So, like, let's just a child Sony, playing with an Xbox man is a bad thing.
Yes.
But how about a child Sony playing with a Sony man?
No, it doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
They're protected. They're safe.
Protected because they're both Sonys.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. Fuck that.
That's what Xbox said the next day.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it makes no
Your math
fucking
doesn't
sense.
check
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
Your math equals stupid.
And they're like, oh, we're still willing to have lines of communication. And it's like, last year, Rocket League was like, all we got to do is turn on the Switch. Well, not the actual, a light switch.
But
not
a switch.
Yeah. To basically play.
It's pouring outside.
Yeah, it's just started raining like really bad. But so that was just a weird little piece of news. And then there was a lot of people really mad that Sony wasn't releasing release dates
for just years,
for like 2018, late 2018. Well, I guess last year they had made a commitment in the higher ups that because of delays and because of announcing release dates early and annoying people and pissing them off and everything was delayed in the backlash, they decided as a company to just say a year, and when they're close enough to they think that there won't be any more delays, they will give you a hard date.
And then meet that date. And
I'm like, perfect.
I'm good with that.
I'm fine with that. Thank you for
when
clarifying that.
When they're more secure with the property and the project.
Exactly.
And to know an end date.
Yeah.
And then give it to you.
Because as we know, if a date is released, that game is automatically delayed, regardless. If they tell you fucking November, it's April.
Yeah, like they could have said, let's just use Spider-Man for example.
Okay.
They could have said, even if they went November 2019.
Yeah.
2019.
We know that
still would have been delayed.
April delayed
2020.
automatically.
Yeah.
Like that's just the nature of it. And I'm glad a company was like, you know what? We'll give them a date, but we'll give them a year, and then once we get closer, we're going to announce it. And I'm like, that's perfect. I'm tired of shit being announced and then delayed. Mm-hmm. Everything gets delayed. Yep, and that was it for E3. It was a great year of, like, not really big surprises, as we said in the video, which is on youtube.com/talkingbull. We have our complete reacts to the first couple conferences, as well as a reacts to the Sony conference. We did have a video of us talking along with the Sony conference, but it got pulled because of copyright. First copyright strike. And normally people are upset about copyright strike, but we're like, hey,
that means someone watched
it. Yeah, someone, the analytics caught us, which was great. We got flagged for 3 different things, which was great. We got flagged for Monster Hunter, Activision, and some band, which is amazing. I was really happy, which is really weird. Yeah, 10 minutes after it went up, we got the email saying like you can't do anything. And it's like the funny thing was it was like, oh, you can't monetize this video, and I'm like, I can't monetize any video.
I can't. Yeah, we were not monetizing any of the fucking
we
videos.
are like 9,000 numbers away from being anything.
But so when you texted me Tuesday morning.
Yeah,
it was Tuesday morning. Right? Yeah, because it's Monday night.
Yeah,
you texted me Tuesday morning and said we got the copyright. I went online, I looked at the email.
Yeah.
I saw the thing from Capcom.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was referencing Capcom versus Marvel versus Capcom.
Which is weird. How come we didn't get both?
I guess maybe Marvel has more say and doesn't care. I don't know.
Maybe.
But what I was going to say is like, we'll just take out like those 8-minute, like the 4-minute video.
Yeah.
You know, just cut here, put it back together, and cut out the one trailer. But
we'll just cut it because it's so easy.
Well, in theory.
In theory, I do the cutting. He does.
And it's easy for me to say, in theory, you could have cut out a 4-minute video.
Yeah, it would, yeah. And then cut out the next 4-minute video.
But yeah, once there was more, I was like, fuck it. Like, we'll just take it down.
Pretty much. But that was it for E3. It was good. It was basically just like, here's everything from last year. It's coming out. Here's next year's stuff. We'll show it to you next year. Basically. No big surprise kind of things, but just stuff's coming out. From everybody, and it all looks really good.
Coming out. No.
And he wants the world to know. So moving on to some movie news. Once again, could someone do something so we could get some news? Because this is all just like hearsay and leaks and.
I have some questionable news.
Exactly, questionable news.
Well, not questionable. The big, solid news. Couple things. They officially announced.
The relaunch of the DC universe.
Yes.
Yes.
No, they confirmed. What is it? What's it called?
I don't know. It's your news story.
Dark Phoenix.
Yes.
You have.
Oh, is that the character
Simon
rundown?
Kingberg is directing it.
Yes.
He's been the producer of a lot of the X-Men movies for.
He's the guy who fixed the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, we're gonna get into that in a second. But no, what. In the press release with him being announced as the director, they also confirmed that Jennifer Lawrence, Nicholas Hoult, James McAvoy, and Michael Fassbender will reprise their roles.
So it's and they renamed it to Mystique and the Dark Phoenix.
Yes, it's going to be Mystique and the Dark Phoenix. Probably Mystique versus, right?
Yeah.
It would be Mystique V.
V.
Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix. AKA an X-Men story.
Yeah, AKA.
They'll do like they did with X-Men Origins, Wolverine. It'll be versus an X-Men story.
Yeah.
Fuck, they need to stop putting her in everything.
I was pissed when they saw, when I don't mind like McAvoy and Nicholas.
Oh,
and,
you mean
Fassbender.
Xavier and Beast and Magneto, who should be in the X-Men prominently?
Have no problem being in there.
Yeah,
but fucking her, like
I know. She is not
how the
fucking X-Men.
Go. The movie's gonna just push as like her as a founding member. Like the way the last one ended, like was just complete. Yeah, she like leads the X-Men.
Well, that's why the movie did so fucking badly.
Yeah. It fucking did bad.
Yeah,
yet they fucking
sucked.
do this.
Oh, like, I don't care. And it made the money enough, I guess.
Like barely enough though. Like
I can't get a Tron sequel, but here's X-Men 32 starring fucking
Jennifer
Lawrence. Not that, and the worst
nothing
thing is,
against her.
And nothing against her. I'm just tired of fucking seeing Mystique.
Yeah, like, so they announced that, and yes, as you brought up earlier, Simon Kinberg was the guy who
directed
unofficially directed the reshoots for Fantastic Four when they got rid of Josh Trank.
God knows he fucking did great.
And so between the two of them, we'll never know for sure, but between the two directors and whatever two movies the two of them differently filmed, we ended up seeing whatever that was.
What else has
Fantastic.
Fan Four Stick, yeah. What else has Simon done?
Nothing?
Just
he hasn't directed anything.
Just his first directing gig?
This would be his directorial debut, yes.
Okay. Well,
he's been a writer-producer for many years. He's done all the X-Men.
But at least we know he knows the X-Men.
Yes.
As well as they know the X-Men, which is not good.
Which is not well. But
they also took the rule book and chucked it out a window. So somewhere outside of a window is the Arrow, Flash, and X-Men just comic continuity. If you can find those, if you can find those, please mail them to the various people who should be reading them.
Yes. I think a day after, or maybe it was a day before that, they announced the decade, which we kind of already assumed.
Yeah, I grabbed that article and I saw it. And it was like a happy time, and I'm like, I just don't care.
It's going to be in the 90s. It's going to take place in 91.
See, here's my thing.
Another 10 years.
I don't care about the X-Men anymore.
And it just says that was to be expected after First Class took place in the 60s, Days of Future Past in the 70s, Apocalypse in the 80s, and now Dark Phoenix will take place, it says, in 91.
Okay. I'm so done.
This is the thing I was when you brought up about Jim Lee. It says a fair bit of significance. 91 is a fair bit of significance to Marvel fans, as it was that time where the comic book was relaunched with the now iconic costumes designed by Jim Lee, which would go on to influence the animated series. So maybe we'll finally get the correct costumes that we're supposed to. They kind of teased it at the end of Apocalypse. I will say that.
They did.
The costumes they had at the end weren't horrible, but they weren't really good in comparison to like what Marvel and DC is doing when it comes to costumes, right? Like,
yeah. So
Fox is still behind on that. But
I have this article from the comic book movie.com, and the guys over at the Hashtag Show, a show I have never heard of.
Yes, I saw that.
But I'm going to give them props. Please acknowledge our existence. They have a breakdown of character.
What?
Nothing. I know, you're an idiot. The pound sign. The pound sign.
What is the pound?
On the phone. Well, the pound is the thing the British people use for money.
On the phone?
No. The pound sign on the phone. That's what the hashtag sign is.
The thing that looks like the tic-tac-toe board?
Yeah, that's what the fucking hashtag is.
I'm just fucking with you.
Fuck off. That's what I live with. So they showed off some stuff. I haven't watched the video. I'm just going off the article here. They showed speculate that Sunfire, Dazzler, which I thought she was already announced in another movie or the TV show. Mimic, Rogue, Sauron, Mastermind, as well as the Hellfire Club and the Shi'ar Imperial Guard.
Okay, so we've already seen Hellfire Club in the First Class.
Yeah.
Right?
Which, amazingly, they kind of got right.
Yeah.
Because First Class was good.
Rogue should be there now, I guess. Right?
Could they get Rogue right? Nothing against Anna Paquin. Paquin? Yeah.
can't be, like I said.
I'm not gonna shit on that too much because it was the
product of the time.
Those movies are all product of those
times. That was acceptable.
Exactly.
To just not read a book and then write the movie and then make up.
But they're kind of close. Like those movies are more accurate, I think, than the ones we fucking have now.
No, that's true.
Except for First Class, which was awesome.
That was the best one.
But they've gone so far off that path. It's just like, ugh. We could make our whole topic just shitting on the X-Men. Like how it started off great, turned to shit, went back to good, and then went back to shit again. All within a 15-year span, 20-year span. Really long time.
Yeah.
Fuck, we're old.
After that, you had, what's his name? Bryan Singer passing the torch over and all that stuff. There was that tweet. Nothing big there. I guess Singer's going to do 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. He's remaking that.
Oh, cool. I like that movie.
I've heard of it. I've actually never seen it, but...
Yeah. What do we got? We got the Justice League set photos making from the Hall of Justice.
Yeah, I had this open because I wanted to ask you what you thought about having the Hall of Justice. I saw that, and I saw the curve. There's that dome, like the half dome. And I was like...
I'm going to sum this up in a perfect sentence for DC. You cannot have your fucking cake and eat it too. You can barely get these fucking characters off the ground, and now you're going to give them the Hall of Justice?
Not even, like... I don't even...
It just looks like a fucking building, by the way.
The
picture on Twitter just looks like shit.
No, what I'm saying is, like, let's say they weren't on the rocking, sinking ship that they're on. Let's say the boat was fucking fully engorged.
Yeah.
And I still wouldn't want to see the Hall of Justice. I find it just corny.
Well, see, here's my thing. I think you can make it work the way they did in Young Justice.
As a museum?
Where it's a museum to these characters, public museum, and then that's just actually a fucking teleporter to the Watchtower, which is in space.
Yes. I like that idea, but that's further down
again,
the road.
But that's them having their cake and eating it too.
Yes.
They have one fucking successful movie.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Whedon's doing
Batman
shit.
Begins was really good.
So was The Dark Knight.
It was okay. It was,
I like The Dark Knight. But Rises is garbage.
Begins was bad.
I will fight any motherfucker who says otherwise. Rises is garbage.
What's Rises?
That thing that Doe does.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I only saw 2 movies. I don't know what the fuck that 4-hour epic Snorefest was. Fuck, that thing was so long and like... There's no fucking way he would have survived. He just would not. I don't give a fuck. Like, he would not...
That's your beef with the movie? I'm still trying to figure out how he got back to Gotham.
Fuck how he got back to Gotham. There is physically no way Bruce would have survived 7 years without being Batman. No. 100%. He would have killed himself. He would not... He couldn't... He would have been able to function. And I understand that they were like, well, they showed that because he
he's
was like
not Batman. He is not Batman.
Let me get into that, too. So, watch the fucking movies. Go out there,
guys,
watch the first 2 movies.
So, we're at the 15-minute mark. Just skip to hour 40. He's going to go for a bit.
Go out there, watch fucking Batman Begins, and watch The Dark Knight Rises. Okay. They say at the end... Or Dark Knight, sorry. They say at the end of Batman Begins, give them that Joker card.
Yep.
He's been about Batman maybe fucking 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I will, just for simple math, I'll give you 4 weeks. That's 1 fucking month.
Yeah.
Since the time you see him at the docks to the end of that fucking movie, which is a stretch when you watch the fucking movie. So, simple math, I'll give you 1 fucking month.
Yeah.
They give him the fucking Joker card. You jump to the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And they say that they've been tagging Joker and the crime bosses for 2 months.
Yeah.
So now we're up to fucking 3 months.
Yeah.
Then the course of the Dark Knight happens in what? Maybe I'll be generous and give you another month. That's 4 months.
Yeah.
He was Batman for 4 fucking months before he quit for 7 years.
Yeah.
How do you quit something for 7 years, which is 6.5 years longer than you were ever the fucking thing, and then it would have such an effect on you?
I'm gonna settle this for you right now, very easily. Their Joker died. And they had no fucking clue.
And
they had no fucking clue what to do with. They had no fucking clue.
They were so set in realism and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
That they wrote themselves into a wall.
Yeah.
Once you got into the... I blame the Dark Knight a little bit, because once you got into that Dark Knight, you got rid of a lot of the shit that even even the outside stretch of imagination that you had in Batman Begins, they removed in The Dark Knight, making it more real.
But here's the thing:
then,
they could have made
Keith dying and all
they
that stuff,
could have made it work had they had Talia introduced earlier on in the 2 films. Then her betrayal in the fucking movie would have made fucking sense.
Everything, like, whatever. Topic will be Batman. But go out there, watch those 2 movies. They tell you that shit. Yeah. You got 4 months of him being Batman before
Rises
he's not Batman for fucking
awful,
7 years.
Awful movie.
And then, so 7 years later, just quick math. 7 years later, he comes back. Well, not comes back, but he's not Batman. He comes back for literally, it was like 2 nights that you seen him when he first comes back before he gets his ass beat.
Yeah.
And then he comes back for literally like 8 hours. They tell you we got 8 hours until the fucking bomb goes off.
I'm gonna say something controversial right now. Frank Miller's All-Star Batman and Robin had a better Batman than Batman Rises. Dark Knight Rises. Oh. And that's the motherfucker who gave us, I'm the goddamn Batman.
Oh,
fuck, I hate that line. I hate that line. I hate All-Star Batman and Robin. And at this point, I fucking hate Frank Miller. Yeah. He just went fucking insane. Thank you for going on that tangent with us. We will now bring you back to your Ledger Scrogram crap.
Moving back to movie news.
Yep.
Venom. Did you see this?
Yeah.
In the fall.
Yeah.
And it has a start date of September 1st.
I love Venom. I really do. I don't like what they've done to him now. But when he first came out, he was awesome. He was the anti-hero for a while. It was great. How in the hell do you make a Venom movie without Peter Parker? You can't not make a Spider-Man Venom movie without Spider-Man and Venom. His whole fucking shtick is fucking predicated on Spider-Man.
I read something. I don't remember where I read it. It might have just even been in the comment section of an article.
Because they were talking to Foggy about it.
He's like, no, Venom's not ours.
Like,
that's them. But I don't give a fuck what he says. But no, it was the idea that like maybe they use maybe in this Sony Spideyverse, they use like someone was saying somehow Miles gets brought back, or not Miles, Miguel. So 2099 maybe gets transported back. Then you have a Spider-Man that you can use. They just can't use Peter.
Oh God, don't do that.
And then like
just
the whole
make
Sony,
2099.
Then the whole Sony universe would be like.
See now, I just think that they will use Holland.
I think they're going to use Parker.
I do too. I think that they can't acknowledge the fact that he's an Avenger.
Yeah, like
which is fine.
Just fucking never say the
exactly.
A-word.
They do it with the movies and TV shows all the time. They kind of reference each other, or they just ignore each other. Or
you go the other way, and you know what? Just like Flash does it, you have 2 Spider-Men. You cast someone who's older. You cast
I'm fine with that.
Sorry. You cast a Peter Parker who's like 30.
Yeah.
35 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's the Sony Spider-Man mixed in with Venom and Black and Silver and all those other ones.
So, staying on Homecoming and Spider-Man, there's been a couple Easter eggs dropped throughout the trailers, right?
Yes.
Well, I guess during one of them, you can see a text message on Peter's phone. And it's between him and Ned Leeds, and it mentions a teacher referring to Mr. Warren. Mm-hmm. Miles Warren is the Jackal.
I saw this article because it mentions
the fucking Clone Saga.
Wars, but
the Clone Saga, for those you don't know, was a great story that Marvel started with Spider-Man, and they do as all events do. They kept it going for way too fucking long, and it just became a clusterfuck of who's who and what is what. But essentially, is this guy the Jackal clones Spider-Man, and we get the awesome Ben Reilly. And throughout some bullshit or whatever, they managed to convince Peter that he's the clone and Ben's the real one, so Parker retires to have a family, and Ben Reilly takes over as Spider-Man. And then a whole bunch of other shit happens and becomes the Scarlet Spider. He wears one of the coolest, like, fucking lowbrow...
It looks like Holland's homemade one, like it has the hoodie and everything.
It's a red spandex with a blue hoodie and a black spider on it, and he's got the... he just looks really cool. I really like Scarlet Spider. But I really hope they don't do the Clone Saga because it's just
be like that version of it.
No,
like,
but I do think
version, and maybe condensed. It
yeah,
wouldn't be so
if they
bad.
could get a Ben Reilly, I'd be fucking ecstatic. I love Ben Reilly. I love the idea of a Scarlet Spider. I love the idea of them maybe expanding beyond Parker. Like they're using Miles in an animated movie.
Like
they're using him in the game.
They should have put fucking Miles in the one with Venom.
I do think at some point we will get a live action Miles Morales in this thing. I'm hoping we get a 2099. That would be cool. And a Scarlet. I'm assuming at some point Sony, if they have enough common fucking sense, will try to introduce some of this stuff in a smart way. Yeah. So we'll see what they do.
It just has to be successful.
Yeah. Yeah. That's basically it. Like. And I don't want another fucking reboot of Spider-Man.
No,
like, stop.
I won't see another one.
Like,
I'm already questioning Homecoming.
Again, it's the Turtles Power Ranger thing. I just love these characters so much
that you'll just let them fuck your wallet every couple
and
of
I mean,
years.
but here's the thing, like the Turtles reboot wasn't great, but the sequel was so much better, but the bad taste from the first one, nobody saw it.
Yeah.
And the same thing, like Power Rangers wasn't great, but it was still a pretty all right modern take on them. So that's all I got for movie news. Then we just kind of have a well, this is pretty much not a non-story. It was just that Static Shock could appear in Black Lightning, as well as they could cross over with the Arrowverse. So that's basically that story. We could have Static Shock, which is kind of cool. I remember when they first debuted that cartoon, and they were like, he has no ties to DC. And then they integrated him into the DC universe.
Yeah.
And then the crossover between the various cartoons. Then he became kind of a big player. Well, not a big player. He was in the real DC continuity. He's one of, only 2 characters that have debuted in a TV show that have made their way into main continuity, I think. Which is him and Harley Quinn, if I'm not mistaken. There might be more, but those for sure I know are the only 2 of recollection that are pretty big to go into that. And then we have some comic book news.
Oh, I got some more movie news.
Oh, we got more movie news. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. I didn't realize you had more movie news. What do we got?
What do I got here? Well, I guess I just got one.
Oh, okay. What do we got?
And it was mentioning how to do with Transformers. Did you see this?
Oh, I was trying to read the article, but the article kind of jumped. It was the timeline thing, right? Yes. It was weird for me to read because I either got confused or I'm just an idiot.
So, I guess an article was printed in Empire Magazine.
Yeah, they seem to be getting a lot of scoops on things.
On the future of the Transformer franchise. For starters, it sounds like the upcoming Bumblebee spinoff is going to be aimed at a younger audience, which isn't really surprising considering the character has often been used for comedic relief.
Plus, he's the main guy in the cartoons now, too.
It also revealed that the Bumblebee movie will be set in the 80s, making it a prequel of sorts to the Bay films that were set much later. It's an era that's easy to imagine the car fitting into, and it means that we'll get to see a lot of very cool vehicles from that decade.
So basically, it's the cartoon that we wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's where things get interesting, though. After mentioning that the animated Transformer movie is going to be set millions of years in the past on Cybertron, I didn't know they were making an animated movie.
I didn't know that either until I read this article.
Yeah.
Hence my confusion.
They're making a Transformers anime movie that would be set millions of years in the past on Cybertron. The magazine reported revealing that one of the upcoming movies in the works has a setting in ancient Rome. Does that mean that we'll see Transformers as wooden horses or carts? Who knows? LOL. Whatever.
Well, see, I read that joke and I was like, no, because we've seen these Transformers throughout the ages in their fucking retarded robot form, or actually, in their forms, just in the past. Like the new one, the Knights, they're all fighting with Knights.
Yeah, they're just like
they went
robots.
to the moon.
Yeah.
They went with the dinosaur era. Like, how in the flying fuck do people not notice these Transformers throughout the ages because they've somehow hidden them? Yeah. Even the first one, when they were on like a pirate ship, you were like, okay, maybe. But now we've seen 6 movies at this point where they're in every major piece of history, yet all of a sudden now people are just noticing them. Bullshit.
Yeah, completely bullshit. But I read that and I was just like, I didn't know they were making an animated one.
They're making 85 Transformers movies. And you know why? Because these things keep making money. Yeah. but they keep going down in quality. Actually, Age of Extinction was much better than some of the other ones, but I don't know. Transformers, I'm kind of in the boat with. I'm done, but I'll watch it when it eventually comes out. Netflix or maybe a Reacts.
Netflix, did you see Netflix for the first time? And I want to say, I don't know if it was just the U.S. or North America.
Yeah.
But the first time is in more homes than actual cable companies.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I did see that. Yeah.
51 million people have Netflix, and 49. It's just slightly over 49 million residents have a cable provider.
Which makes sense because Netflix is like $10, $12 a month.
And
you get a bunch of stuff.
Anniversary. A lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, because they started off as the
DVD, right?
Yeah.
They were the one that you would mail you the DVD.
Oh man, I'm gonna go old for a minute.
Yeah.
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Boy, did they shoot themselves in the foot. Because they could have bought Netflix. They were like, no, this is a bad idea.
I guess the guy who made Netflix, this is what I heard. The guy that made Netflix started it just out of spite because he kept getting fucked over by Blockbuster for not rewinding stuff.
Yeah.
So he kept getting all those fees. Or having late fees and different shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So he started Netflix and was mailing out all these movies and DVDs.
And that's basically
and then
what
there
happened.
were no late fees, and you never had to rewind it if it was a VHS. You just fucking mailed it back, and that was it. After a few years, they offered made an offer to Blockbuster to buy it because I think it was getting too big for them or whatever. I don't fucking know the whole story. When Blockbuster turned it down, then they started
their own,
and they started mailing it out.
Yeah,
but it was too late
yeah.
because Netflix just is all over the world now. They're fucked.
Rent stuff is just you can't anymore.
You can't anymore, yeah.
Basically, we have what, 2?
We have
rent places.
We have the local one down the street.
Yeah.
I don't know of another one. I think that one has 2 locations.
Yeah, there's another location, which sucks because just going off on a tangent here, not for movies because those are easily accessible through everything, but for game-wise,
Netflix and stuff.
Gaming-wise, it's
it was convenient to rent games.
They're fucking they're expensive everywhere for games. We're not even the most expensive place. And Brazil, it's $120 per game. Yeah. And it's just, and I think Australia, it's ridiculously priced too. So can you imagine just being able to rent something for 7 days, play it and beat it? Because you could easily do that with most games if you just wanted to play the story.
Yeah.
And it's it's so convenient, but we don't really have they have GameFly in the States, but over here we really don't have any type of service like that.
No, we don't.
Which really kind of
sucks. And then we get
sucks.
screwed on a lot of other things that
if you listen to
if
you listen to last week's, we kind of went on
bridges the gap of you can't rent this, but you can get we just can't get that shit here. So.
No, we can't get Hulu, as we pointed out. We can't get the WWE Network. We don't have.
Well, they have other I'm just saying, even for gaming, they have other things in the States that allow you to still rent games differently, digitally on through the Sony and stuff like that we just don't get here either.
I don't know. I'm glad their Xbox is doing their rental thing now, and. It's good that there's other ways to not have to just buy an $80 game, especially when you're not sure if you want to play it.
Yeah, that's what sucks.
And there's no fucking demos anymore either.
You can't try it.
We used to be able to get demos and be like, oh, okay, oh, this game's great. I totally want to play this game. Unless it's Brutal Legend, where they trick you and give you this cool action game where you're Jack Black with a guitar. And then it becomes a real-time strategy game, and you're like, "Fuck this piece of shit."
That was a good game.
I was so fucking mad at that game because you start off as this, it's fucking awesome. You're driving around, it's all rock based, and you're Jack Black. He's making jokes about rock and roll and just fucking going around with a guitar, smashing shit. And then all of a sudden, a huge battle, and it's okay, we're going to this RTS mode, and you're like, "Fuck yeah,
you got to put the puzzles together." And
it didn't tell you that in any of the marketing.
No.
And then all of a sudden I was so fucking livid. So, I played the game and beat it, but I was so fucking livid.
Comic news.
Yeah.
I got one story and then I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Comics. DC Rebirth Aquaman. Did you see this?
No.
They're transforming him into Momoa.
Are they really?
Yeah. There's a picture right there. So it will take place in Aquaman 25.
So what are they doing?
They're just making him...
So they're not acknowledging the change? They're just going to go?
What does the article say?
I don't know.
The hero was overall and is currently being haunted by his own people, but we'll have to wait and see until it comes out later this month to find out what happens next. That issue will also mark the debut of a brand new look for Aquaman, which is much more reminiscent of how his big screen counterpart will be depicted in Justice
I'm going
League.
to in the
This
edit.
is the hardly the first time a comic book character has
this
undergone.
spot right here, this big open space, guys. I'm going to attempt to put a picture of it in.
So if you guys just look right there,
right here, I'm going to
there.
try and put the picture that is on his screen right there. I'm going to try right there.
Right there. But yeah, so it doesn't say the month. I thought I read somewhere about it being in August.
Well, you said,
but it does say
issue
Aquaman
25. I think their Batman is at 23 right now.
Okay.
So
that would be
August probably.
That would be August.
I think
right.
August. If my I don't know what the number is at.
So that would be August.
Yeah, maybe
23, 24, 25.
Yeah.
So it'd be late July, early August.
Yep.
But yeah, he's just gonna have like long hair, a beard. It's kind of blondish brown, like
he kind of looks like a mix between Aquaman now
and Momoa.
And Momoa.
Kind of just meant.
I'm hoping on in Injustice.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does. I like that. I'm gonna try and put that picture right here.
So what else do you got for?
Well, I just want to say, I hope in Injustice they start putting these characters in like they did with Wonder Woman for her movie. I would love to see Aquaman, Momoa in Injustice.
Yeah,
I think that would be cool.
Armor.
I also would like to make them do it in a challenge mode, and I would also like to tape you doing that, because watching you do the Wonder Woman ladder for Injustice
crazy.
was
I still got one more.
Fantastic.
I got one more.
I don't think you can get it anymore.
Oh yeah.
It was only for that little bit.
For that weekend, but yeah. I'm just saying I didn't finish it. I had one more.
So just to give you guys, there was a ladders to get the stuff, right? You had to do what, 10, 12 battles and then battle Cheetah?
Yeah.
And she was a level ahead of you. I finished the one ladder and beat Cheetah before he finished
the
last battle. Yeah, that was the day he decided that he was going to throw the glove, and for some reason he kept hitting my things, and his response to throwing shit was, why do you have so much stuff?
He was like, why do you keep hitting my stuff? I was like, why's your fucking stuff everywhere?
He knocked down all the Funkos and the fan. It was really funny. Yeah, so I definitely want to do a Let's Play of you trying to get Momo. So moving on to Batman. They said it was just kind of a snippet article with for Duke moving his character along to getting him his own solo series and to build him up not as a sidekick but as a full-fledged partner to Batman.
Who's Duke?
He's
That's the kid, right?
The kid from We Are the Robin.
Oh.
That main guy.
Oh, I have no idea who you're talking about then.
Yeah, he was in We Are the Robin. He's that guy who's been sitting with Batman in the cave for a while. Batman's building him up, basically, and they're going to start giving him a character name. He doesn't have, like a superhero name yet.
Like a costume name?
But he does have a costume. It kind of looks a little bit like a cross between Batgirls and... who's the... Damn it, I can't remember his name. Lucius's kid.
Batwing?
Batwing. It looks like a cross between that, just a brighter yellow. And building up towards his solo series, he will get a character name and more emphasis on him. They announced some stuff for the what is it? Dark Knight Metal. It's such a stupid title. For the Batman crossover events, they're going to release some evil Batman into one-shots, and it looks like all these characters are going to be based off of different Justice League members. So they didn't really go too much into it. They just showed the 8 kind of like silhouettes of the Batmans. We'll probably see more full-fledged stuff later on down the line. And then with that, they're going to have kind of a little mini event with it, with the Batman in question affecting the citizens and going insane. So all the Bat family has to deal with that. And then that was pretty much it for DC stuff. Marvel, you asked me last week, hey, what's going on in Secret Empire? Did anything big happen? And I said no. Mm-hmm. And then this week they released Secret Empire 4.
Yep.
So we now have this weird confirmation that working with Hydra is the Punisher, which we reported. And I didn't know this. Deadpool is also on the side.
Witch.
Yeah, I'll get into that. I got it right here. So Deadpool is on his side because As you know, Coulson and Deadpool both have a fanboy fascination with Captain America. So he sent Deadpool to kill Coulson. And from what I've read, he does.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
Deadpool is now starting...
This time he stays dead?
Yeah. He's now starting to question Captain America because he's starting to see that maybe he shouldn't be blindly following this guy. And I'm like, well, I guess it takes a while for Deadpool to realize that because he's insane. Punisher's basically doing it because he's like, cool, we get to kill criminals.
Yeah.
And he's all about that. So, and it's not out of character for Frank to side with them, to erase criminals. And then at any given point when he doesn't like the situation, just blow shit up. So, issue 4, it shows kind of the two teams of Avengers split between Captain America and
Tony.
And why they are on each side. So on Tony's team, you have Hawkeye, Clint Burton, Quicksilver, Mockingbird, a very reluctant Sam Wilson, Hercules, and Scott Lang. And then on Steve's side, you have Odin's Son, Black Ant, Taskmaster, Scarlet Witch, and the Vision.
Which I think the big thing was Odin was there, like
yeah.
before.
So basically, Odin's Son is there because he believes he's doing what's right for Asgard. Which, okay, fine. Asgard's is 8 ways from fucked right now anyways. So that makes sense. Black Ant is the life model decoy of the third Ant-Man, which I had to go read about this because I didn't know who Black Ant was. So he's just there because he's programmed to be there. Taskmaster is there because he figured out who Cap was and what was going on, and he's very resourceful. Scarlet Witch is under the control of a demon, so that's why she's there, and the Vision is infected with nanites, so they have control over him anyways.
So it seems like
and then
Punisher and like Thor are the only one doing it because they want to. Seems.
Everyone else seems to be under control or a robot.
Yeah.
So and Tony is an AI version of himself controlled in a suit because, as we know, he's still in a coma. So basically, what happens is they go to dinner, and I shit you not, at a replica of the Avengers Mansion with Hank Pym / Ultron. Because Ultron and Hank Pym are now one and the same, and it's really fucking weird. So they find out that they have a piece of the cosmic cube, which they're all trying to gather as kind of the whole main point of this to fix what's wrong in the universe. So they all sit down, and basically they kind of like hash it out of like why things are the way they are. And then they reveal all the stuff. Hank Pym is he's ripping people left and right for their actions, and then Iron Man rips Hank a new one, basically like, oh, we're this way because you hit Janet all those years ago, and like we couldn't deal with it, kind of thing. And then also and then he has a piece of the cosmic cube. He gives it to Tony, so they have it. And they're not sure why Ultron would give it to the heroes, but it's all part of his weird-ass plan because they don't know if he's Hank Pym or Ultron. And then after they leave, they think to do it. Namor shows up and gives a piece of he has a piece of the cosmic cube, and he gives it to Cap and Hydra, solidifying the Atlantis alliance now with Hydra. So basically, the Marvel heroes are fucked.
It says this too, like it says, it's revealed that Iron Man's group doesn't stand a chance because Cap has someone on the inside.
There's an inside man within Cap's team as well.
Possibilities are Hawkeye, Quicksilver, Mockingbird, Falcon, Hercules, and Ant-Man.
My money's on Quicksilver.
You think it's Quicksilver?
Yeah, he's
a villain. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's to save his sister or whatever. Blah blah blah. Comic bullshit. Heart of the cards. Also, the reason why there's only so many heroes is because some of them are off Earth, and all the space-based ones are all locked off because of some shield that they put up. So there's just this, and New York is like in a hell dimension. So basically, like, Cap planned this shit to a T, and he knew exactly what to do, and right now they're all just fucked. And some of the heavy hitters are with Cap.
Yeah.
Like, automatically, when you put Thor even without his hammer, you still kick the shit out of half the team. And Iron Man is a suit at this point. Like,
yeah, it's not even a person inside.
I haven't read much of Secret Empire other than spoilers. I plan to read the event at some point. I guess Spider-Man is going to have a tie-in at some point, I believe. But it seems really good. I'm still not feeling the Hydra cap, but we'll see what happens with that based on the cap we saw in the last issue of coming back. Maybe good cap. I don't know. And Marvel's gone out of its way to assure people that Cap is still a good guy.
Yeah.
And we're like, how?
How do you redeem yourself?
How in the flying fuck? I don't know either. So that's kind of our rundown of the news. Not much. It's, June, July, it's really slow until stuff starts gearing up again. Probably around August we'll have more news. We were saved by E3 this week.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
But that only added like a few minutes.
Yeah. So we'll just give you more of our opinions on stuff when we see like little news increments. If you see a news story you want us to talk about, let us know, and we'll very vaguely look it up and do it, because as you know, we are fully integrated with looking things up. So that's kind of it for the news. So we'll move right into our